Good morning, Vante. How are you today? I don't recognize these catchy tunes. This is another playlist by Blue Turtle. So, another one of the fantasy ambiance playlists that is not AI, thank goodness. So, I've been listening to this one the past week or so while I've been writing, so. I'm still trying to put my... I really need to get a bot for Discord to do this for me, but I always forget. Hopefully YouTube doesn't get mad at me for this drawing. I was fighting for my life yesterday, trying to draw something that I could use for stream today, and I just wasn't happy with anything I was drawing. I think I spent 6 hours trying to draw something and just wasn't happy with anything that I made. So I finally settled on this one, even though I'm not super happy with this one either. It's something. It's better than the other ones, I guess. Well, it's a combination of it being better than the other ones, but also safe for work enough that I can put it on YouTube. I've already censored it a little bit, so YouTube hopefully won't get mad at me. The thumbnail shows Bronte's nightgown. Oh, why did my music stop? The thumbnail shows Bronte's nightgown a little bit more sheer than it's going to be. I'm not sure why my music stopped. Hang on. There we go. Hello, Sarah. Welcome in. How are you this morning? Don't even get me started on my 33 misfortunes. Still alive, so we're rolling with it. That's all we can do. That's all we can do sometimes. Banana smoothie for dinner? I can only ever have smoothies for breakfast. It's a certified breakfast item in my mind. I haven't had breakfast yet today. I stayed up way too late, again, trying desperately to draw something and completely being unable to. So I stayed up really late, so I basically crawled out of bed right before stream. So I haven't eaten yet. I haven't had my coffee yet, so you guys might get some Dia makes coffee ASMR. We'll see. We'll see if I want to make coffee during stream or if I can just wait until after. Where's my... yeah, let's see. Don't ask me what Bronte is like has her hand on and what Cyril's resting his arm on. Maybe it's a table. Maybe it's like a side table next to his bed. I don't know. I didn't really think that far ahead. I sketched in the pose that they're in and decided that I would figure out everything else later. And yes, that little pillar arch thing in front is censoring Bronte's rear so that I can put it on YouTube. So That may or may not stay. Or it might stay for non-Patreon versions of this sketch. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I sense you can probably tell the differences from the thumbnail and this one. I censored her a little bit, so hopefully YouTube won't get mad at me. Because it's not flesh colored, because it's grayscale. I think YouTube's gonna be fine, but we'll see. It's not the end of the world if after the stream is over they say, we're gonna take this VOD down. So it's like, all right, that's not a big deal. All right, let's see. Cyril, respectfully, is looking too skinny in the sketch that I've done. I need to bulk Cyril out a little bit, so that'll be the first thing that I work on. Let's see. I think this is his lines. Yeah, that's his lines. All right, let's see. Should be his body. Okay. Hello, Victoria. Good morning. How are you today? A little bit tricky because I've already blocked in his shading, so I'll probably have to tweak that because I don't think that's the right shape either. Let's see, run away. She probably should, but she's not going to. Not right now. Listen, it took her a long time to work up this amount of courage. She needs to use it. What kind of magic did Cyril work on Bronte for her to lean on him like that? Maybe it's just a dream. Bronte's realizing she has an opportunity here because Cyril's not wearing his cassock, so she's not gonna get stung. She's like, ooh, you gotta capitalize on that. Cyril, why did I make you so skinny? It's really weird. Why did I do that? She looks so ethereal. I love that for her. we see why Cyril has trouble resisting. I mean, look at her. She's wonderful. I love leaning into the Victorian nightgown and kind of like the wispy, glowing look. It's so much fun to do with Bronte. She's going to be in front of him anyway, so I can hide his lines. Erase them. Because I do want him... I want him to be, like, relatively flat, because she is really leaning over him. So he's not, like, on his side or, like, twisting too much. He really is more on his back, so I guess the angle of his chest still works. Probably will need to add that up a little bit more with this collarbone. Doing anatomy from memory, don't do that. Always look up a reference. I just can't be bothered. Again, I spent like 6 hours yesterday trying desperately to comb through references and draw. I think I did 6 or 7 sketches yesterday, and I wasn't happy with any of them. So morning, Babel. How are you today? I hope they're communicating in Dreamland. I love when characters got their own little world going on. I'm sure if there was a way to communicate in dreams, Cyril would be all over that. How are you on this fine day? I am tired. I stayed up really late because I was trying to work on sketches and didn't end up happy. I think I spent 6 hours drawing and wasn't happy with anything that I made, which is really frustrating. It doesn't happen super often. Usually it takes me like 1 or 2 sketches to get something that I'm happy enough with that I can keep working on it for stream. But yeah, I think like 6 or 7 sketches in, I was like, wow, I hate all of these and I don't want to work on any of them. So that was really frustrating. And I stayed up really late trying to do that and didn't get anywhere. So I woke up really late this morning as well. So I haven't had breakfast or my coffee yet. I actually need to go grocery shopping today anyways, so I'll just be doing that after stream. But oh well. Oh well, maybe in another universe, Spider-Man. Yes, interesting. Funny you should say that. The bars in the front side give me goosebumps. It's almost like someone's watching them from the outside. Yeah, I like the idea of this. I don't know, like this. Here, allow me to explain through informational diagrams. So this bar here, and then this little square. I don't know what these are gonna be yet. I just needed something in front, and then I needed something for Cyril and Bronte to be like resting her hand on. So maybe this is a side table of some sort, and I'll, you know, make it look like an actual table later. Or maybe it's like the arm of some furniture. But the way that they're both kind of laying down here, and Bronte's on her knees, so Cyril's leg is propped up. So like this leg is like going off the edge of like whatever he's laying on. So like that leg is on, that foot is on the floor. And then this is his knee back here, and he's got like his foot resting on like the top of like whatever furniture he's laying on. And she's kneeling on the furniture. Very clearly I drew this with the idea of it being like a bed or a sofa. So it's probably going to be one of those two things. I just haven't really figured out which, because I didn't get that far. So we'll see. I thought it would be nice to, because one of the things I really want to do is like when we have the arches and stuff like in front like this, I thought it would be nice to have something that has, and I don't know, like maybe it would be up here, I don't really know, or maybe it would be like this whole side over here. But basically kind of having it be like a screen of some sort, because then I can use some of the lighting to like maybe cast, like, let's say the light source is over here. It's kind of hard to see, hold on. Let's say the light source is over here. That's like the sun or whatever, or candles or a fireplace or whatever. And then this column thing has like a screen right here. So you'd have light kind of going through that. And so then you would get like this pattern effect on both Bronte and Cyril. And then in this case, we would have like Bronte kind of casting a little bit of a shadow over Cyril. So like that's an idea of like potential lighting and something that could look cool. And he would probably have like a little bit of like on like certain highlights over here. Let me see, like certain highlights on part of him would probably have like a little bit of the pattern kind of creeping through. So that's a rough idea. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do there. And then in the background, if this is his bed in like his suite, then I could also do like curtains and stuff, and like there's little like tassels and stuff, and like a bunch of like really comfy looking pillows and like blankets could be going everywhere. It could be really cute. It could be really cozy. So we'll see. I haven't gotten quite that far yet, but there are ideas. There are ideas floating around. see. Now I have to find my layer again. You should get yourself a treat for working hard and things just not playing out in your favor. The treat I am getting myself is going to be paying for groceries this week. But maybe I'll get something when I'm at the grocery store. We'll see. And it's a shame too, because I had some really cute sketches and some really cute like bases and stuff that I did for the animatic that I'm working on. And it was a younger Cyril with a younger Bronte, and some of them were really, really cute. But I just wasn't happy with the sketches, so I didn't want to work on them today because I knew I'd just get frustrated with them. So, oh well, I'll save them for another time. Oh, and then I have to remember that, yeah, he has this arm kind of up. So actually, yeah, this... Well, I don't know. Maybe at the angle he's at, you wouldn't see a ton of movement, but you would still see some. What is that? What is that part of your lines? It is. Oh, is it part of your face? Ah, it is. Part of your face escaped. Okay, hold on. There. Oh, also real quick, let me check before I forget. Let me make sure that YouTube isn't running 2 streams for no reason, because I think I fixed that problem. But let me double check. Okay, very good. There's only one live stream. Thank goodness. I worked on an OC for my book and was still not happy at all. He isn't disgusting and cruel enough. After 7 hours, I'm extremely frustrated. Yeah, that's the... Yep. I know how that feels. It's very frustrating. But we carry on. It's all we can do. I love the cozy, cushiony nest idea, or a reading nook. A reading nook. A nook? Oh my goodness. A reading nook. Could be cute. There's also another... When I say another location, that makes it sound really, like, grand, which it's not. But there's another cozy little spot that Bronte gets access to in Volume 2. So it could also be that. And it would kind of make the most sense for it to be that. Okay, now I have to figure out how Cyril's hips work. Do I have? Okay. Wow, so I just didn't even draw like the rest of him in underneath Bronte. You can tell that I was not feeling it. All right, that's okay. I will make what I can of this. His legs are also, well, you can't really see this leg. For all we know, this leg is like... but we can see this leg a little bit, and his leg is also too skinny. Not gonna be able to see a ton of it, but you can see enough. I would rather it look like his leg is more going that way than like towards the viewer, so we can see a little bit more profile. This line here is like the center seam of his trousers, so I can use that to kind of help portray what angle his leg is at, so that could be helpful. I'm not sure exactly where I'll put that yet, though. Oh, I think that... No, it's not. Where? Why is that separate? Oh, was I going to give him his sash? That's probably why I made that separate. I don't think I'm going to have his sash on, so I think I'm just going to shove that together with the others. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have his sash on. You can tell that I definitely originally drew this without clothes on him, which is just how I draw in general. I usually draw figures nude first, and then we'll add clothes on top after. Because this... Hold on, let me get my... Because this line right here is very much not where his trousers are supposed to be. That's definitely like his little hip V. Like... That's definitely what that's supposed to be. So his trousers would probably actually be like here, because you'd see a little bit of the V, for lack of a better word. You'd see a little bit of that poking out. His trousers are pretty high-waisted, so they could come up higher than that. But I usually try to avoid using super high trousers on poses like this, because it can be difficult to portray the pose that I need when you have trousers that are covering up some of the body, because it makes it a little bit more awkward, at least in my sketches. Yeah, no, I gave him really high-waisted trousers to try to... I also gave you two tits here, so which one was I planning to... I don't think you're gonna see these. No, you're not gonna see his chest anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't know, do you see any of his abs? Probably not, because I'm gonna make Bronte's nightgown. Her nightgown is still sheer. You can still see through it, which Cyril's a big fan of, but I don't think you're really gonna see too much. If I don't end up liking these lines or this shape, I can just put some blankets all like bunched up and like coming out from underneath them, so I can hide my sins. Let's... Oh no, that's right, because I did move his chest a little bit. Okay. I don't really know. I think that. I'm not really gonna see it, but it helps me give some idea where I'm gonna put the rest of them. Let's see. I should really map these out before I actually try to sketch them in. Ugh. Okay, let's see. Roughly like that. Maybe what I want. that should do for now. And you won't get to see most of that. Awesome. That's okay. Alright. Oh, dang it. I did merge this. Okay. Well, that's annoying. Oh well. Forgetting. I got a new tablet and I keep forgetting that I can do certain things again instead of having to use my mouse. Old man is frightened by technology. Cyril in bed is romantic or not. Depends on his partner, I guess. Yeah, it depends on his partner. With Bronte, he would be very romantic and very affectionate. With somebody else, that would not be the case. with Bronte though, yeah, he would be very affectionate with her in his own way. Or she's simply fallen on him for whatever lovely reason. Let's see. Oh, right. I think his trousers are this layer. Oh, technology. Her adorable, clumsy apple cake bumping into him, which in turn would cause the boom to his head. So Bronte would feel obligated to inspect it. Listen, there's all sorts of contrived reasons Bronte would need to very closely inspect how Cyril's doing. And Cyril has an actual excuse to do so, because he is technically, I guess, in the most applicable sense of the word, he is technically her doctor. I'm pretty sure this is a HIPAA violation. Alright, let's see where... I think this is his ponytail. Oh, no, apparently not. Is this his ponytail? No, apparently not. Is this his ponytail? No, apparently not. Where is your... Ah, I see, okay. There we go. There we go. He's looking more like himself. He's actually filled in with the right amount of muscle now, so that's good. Let's see. Will YouTube get mad at me if I start... if I just start? Will YouTube get mad at me if I start cleaning up Bronte's body the way that I cleaned up Cyril's? Because I did censor her a little bit. I blurred some of her breasts, so you can't really distinguish it as much as you could in the thumbnail. I realized that, oh, maybe that's a little bit much for YouTube. But her nightgown is pretty sheer, so you do see the shape of her, which Cyril is, again, a big fan of. Big fan of that. And the intention with this was that she's leaning like over him and kind of onto him enough that her breasts are touching his chest, because it's really cute. I think it's cute. So I want the squish to be there, but I don't think I can do that part on YouTube. I think YouTube would get mad at me. But I'm hoping that I can do some of the other stuff and like clean up her legs. Cyril's leg is a mess too, but if I were Bronte, I would think this is inappropriate, but I would also think I have to check if he's hurt. Listen, she just does her best. She just wants to reciprocate the care that she receives. I guess I can clean up Cyril's arm real quick. I don't know if he's going to be doing anything with this hand. Obviously I didn't intend to. He's just kind of resting it, but I don't know. I guess he could be doing something if I feel so inclined, but I think both of them are just not going to be doing anything with these two hands here. I think they're just resting. When Bronte's like supporting herself, so she's like pushing herself up. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be doing anything with his hand. No, you can start with Bronte if you want. Are they role-playing as doctor patient? Why is she inspecting him? She's just trying to reciprocate the care that she receives. She just wants to show that she's grateful. Depending on how far you've read Volume 1, you'll know that Bronte has feelings regarding Cyril's lost eye, which I realize now he doesn't have his eye patch. Sorry, Cyril. I can't believe I left you naked like that. Let me fix that for you. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. We'll just... the vague concept of an eye patch, just to give him some decency. You can't have that glass eyeball just hanging out. Cute. The man that says it's cute. I'm afraid I'd start malfunctioning and hyperventilating if something squished onto me. Listen, Cyril's been waiting his whole life for this moment. It's not true. It's not all of his life, but... The man can appreciate a soft squish. Okay, let's see. I think I have her all on one. Yes, I do. Okay, so... Oh, so... I see. I see. Okay, that's what I did. I'm so sorry, Bronte. I do have to remove your clothes. I'm sorry, young lady. That's her hair, and wow, I definitely made her hair. It's kind of like how I did Cyril. Her hair is too flat. It's too flat, and it's not the right texture. Just like how I made Cyril too skinny. What was I thinking yesterday? I know what I was thinking. I was thinking I was really frustrated, and I wanted to be done drawing for the day. There we go. Bronte has more texture to her hair than what I've given her here. This is a little bit straight. This is a little bit flat for her. Also, I think I kind of insinuated it with that little blip right there, but like I like the idea of Cyril's kind of, I don't know. Well, yeah, yeah, he would have. So like, you have her hair coming in right here, and then Cyril will have like wound a little bit of her hair around his finger, and then he'll just kind of be holding the rest, which is very cute of you, Cyril, except you can't actually really appreciate the texture of her hair because you're wearing gloves. You idiot. It's fine. He'll do it anyway, though. The patch stays on. Listen, unless you want to look at the sad plain glass eyeball that's in there. It doesn't have anything painted on it. It's just he has like a glass ball in that eye socket to prevent it from collapsing, because that could cause medical issues. So he just has like a sterilized glass ball in that socket, and it's not particularly fun to look at. And I just dropped my pen. Hold on. Come here. Come on. No, don't roll under the computer. No, come back. Okay, make it. All right. I have bad news. My black cat disappeared 8 days ago. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I hope you're able to find your cat. I hope they get home safely. Alright, let's see. YouTube gods, please don't smite me for drawing the best girl. I promise I've censored her. I have this pillar in front. Oh, is that? Let me see. Ah, it is. Okay. Well, I'll clean up all of this later. Oh, I see. That's actually part of Cyril, isn't it? It is. Okay. No, that's not what I want. Come on. Oh, that's why I keep forgetting technology. Ugh. I keep trying to do things with my mouse that I both don't need to do anymore because I have a new tablet, but also I'm in the habit of doing them through my mouse, and that actually doesn't work with the tablet. I have to break that habit. All right, let's see. So that leg is further forward. This leg is closer to us. So this is the leg we would be seeing. Cyril gets bonus thigh squish, which absolutely love that for him. Let's see. what's behind. Cool. All right. So from what we've gathered, the man just likes something to hold on to. Correct. Listen, he's got to get his grubby hands wherever he get. Well, they're not grubby. He's got gloves on. His hands are quite clean. And I didn't include it. I didn't even include like his jewelry. Like he's not even wearing his earrings, and you can't see these fingers. But he would have taken his rings off if he's gonna be messing around with her hair. That way he doesn't pull on her hair. At least not pull on his hair with the rings. He might pull on her hair, but not the rings. There's an important distinction there. Oh, okay, I see what I was planning to do. I don't know if her hair's gonna come back that well. I don't know. Her hair is pretty long, so maybe it would come back that far. I don't know. I'll have to see. I see. Okay, interesting. I'm just going to do that then. Me looking at all the questionable decisions I made when I was sketching this in a hurry. Now, I don't know if that is part of her body or if that is just messy hair. It is part of her body, okay. don't think you can see... I don't know if you can't see it or I just didn't draw it in. I think you might not be able to see it past her sleeve. But I know that in my, at least my original idea for this sketch, and was to have this arm that you can't really see in the background. This arm is like forward, and well, I guess you probably would be able to see that because her hand is supposed to be on his chest. Like her hand's supposed to be like up here. Like that's her thumb, and then like her fingers are like right there. I don't know if you. Well, I guess it depends on how I'm positioning her arm. If her arm's like this, then yes, you'd be able to see it. But if her arm is like further back, like that, then I guess you wouldn't be able to see it. I don't know. We'll see if I want her hand on his chest to be visible or not. Then I can adjust the posing accordingly. But I'll make that decision later. What are their nicknames for each other? So, well, we all know that Cyril tends to call her Little One. But Bronte doesn't really have a good nickname for Cyril. She can't really call him a nickname, like, in public. Like, he can get away with calling her Little One because of his role. Even though some people might be like, kind of weird, he can still get away with it. No one's really going to argue with him. Versus Bronte can't really. It's kind of what's the phrase? Faux pas? Is that the phrase? I'm not sure if that's the correct phrase off the top of my head. But it's a bit. It's considered inappropriate for Bronte to even call Cyril like by his name, just like to call him Cyril. She should be calling him like Archbishop or Father. Like she shouldn't be calling him by his name. Cyril likes both. Cyril likes when she calls him Cyril, and he also likes when she calls him Father. So he's not complaining. I've been thinking if Bronte stopped taking Cyril's medicine, she could drink other types of blood if she needed it, like animal blood. There's a possibility that Bronte could stop taking Cyril's medicine and potentially have something else. She's only ever been given Cyril's medicine. So that's the only thing that her body has ever known. Her body knows that it has a need for, the body doesn't necessarily recognize this, but her body knows that it needs blood. And the thing that fixes that so far is Cyril's medicine. So it's never known anything else. So she'd probably have to adjust to whatever else she was given, and it might not, her body might not respond the same way. She just doesn't know because she hasn't tested it, and Cyril doesn't know because he also has not tested that. There hasn't been a need to because of this other medicine that he's able to give her, which is not... Cyril's medicine is... It's his medicine, he creates it, but he's using an older recipe that a previous archbishop... Again, if you've read far enough in Volume 1 to get to a little bit of lore, there is... The archives underneath the church have a bunch of experiments and recipes and spells and everything from previous archbishops and other clergy, but mostly from previous archbishops because they're going to be the most powerful. Things that they have concocted that have helped in their time, and Cyril went through and he found different recipes and he came up with something. He used an older recipe as a base for what he's using for Bronte. So it's a team effort from Cyril and someone who died like 1,000 years ago who was like, hey, I think this works. So because of what he's using, there hasn't been a need to rely on something like animal blood. Vampires can consume animal blood, but it doesn't do very much for them. It can be used in a pinch. Again, if you've read far enough in Volume 1, you've seen that happen. It can be used in a pinch, but it really doesn't do much. But basically, the medicine that Cyril is giving Bronte is not just fulfilling, because again, the church approaches it as a problem of the spirits as well as a problem of the body. So it's not just the fact that the body needs blood, it's that consuming blood is a sin, and therefore you also need to treat the spiritual damage that's being done by someone having that need. So the medicine that Cyril's giving her is meant to serve those two purposes. It's not just sustaining her body because her body needs blood. It's also trying to treat what the church is perceiving as a spiritual flaw. Could she survive on animal blood? Maybe? Maybe. I don't know how much of it she'd need. Because yeah, the church's approach isn't to try to find like an alternative to blood like that. So that's not really something that they try for. They're not like, oh, well, you can have, horse blood, and it's like not as bad. Thumbs up. That's not their approach. Their approach is, you shouldn't want this, and we're gonna fix the fact that you want it, not the consequence of you wanting it. So that's their approach. That's why Cyril's treating her the way that he is, rather than, just, even though it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper, a hell of a lot less difficult to just give her animal blood of some kind. That's not the church's approach. So Cyril is not only trying to manage her condition, shall we say. He's not just trying to manage the symptoms of it and make sure that she's not craving blood and blah, blah, blah. He's not just trying to do that. That's part of what he does. But Bronte is also unique in that she's half vampire, half human, rather than being fully one or the other. So a little bit of what Cyril's doing, and that's part of why he's using that older recipe that someone else, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, whatever it was, he's trying to use that recipe because he's trying to see if he can swing Bronte over time with enough medication. Can he swing her over towards being more human than vampire? Because like right now she's basically like a perfect 50-50 split. Is it possible to bring her over more towards human? And if so, is that something that can be used to like cure addicts or cure vampires and so on and so forth. So there's another layer to it. It's not just trying to maintain her, it's trying to see if there's any kind of change that happens over time that might mean they can help more people. Wouldn't she also feel horrible for taking poor animals' lives? She would, but just because you're consuming animal blood, it wouldn't necessarily mean that you have to kill that particular animal. I can imagine a scenario where if the church found out that animal blood was a viable option for any reason, they would probably have like dedicated animals that they would raise and that they would care for. They would make sure those animals are free from disease, and then they would humanely withdraw like certain amounts of blood, the same way that you would take blood for like a veterinary procedure or something like that. So they wouldn't necessarily have to kill the animals in order to use the blood, and there's a good reason that they probably wouldn't want to use just dead animals' blood, because you don't know where that dead animal has been. So I imagine if that was something that they felt was worth doing, they would go about it in a humane way. Cyril in particular is big on not being cruel to animals, which tells you a lot about what he thinks of vampires, because he thinks they're less than animals. But yeah, if that was something that happened under Cyril's leadership, he'd be pretty particular about it. He's got a whole, you're gonna meet this brother in volume 2. You're gonna meet Brother Debare, who is the brother who is, for lack of a better term, quote unquote, in charge of looking after vampiric animals and making sure that they're put down essentially in humane ways. And that's something that Cyril has given him like explicit permission and everything to do. So you get to meet Debare in next book. Okay, let's see. I think this is the layer that I need. Yes, it is. Is that part of Cyril or is that part of Bronte? Oh, I guess that's part of Cyril's lines. Hold on, let me fix that. Oh, dang it, I didn't separate those layers. That's okay. I believe all of that is just her hair. Yes, it is. Okay. I think I'm gonna bring her shoulder down. Yeah, because this arm is pretty low. Yeah, I think I can put that down. Of course, I've drawn her head at one of the most difficult angles. But it's fine. One of my favorite things, even though this angle is really difficult, one of my favorite things about this angle is that you can usually, especially with Bronte, because she has really long eyelashes, you can see her little eyelashes, and I find that very cute indeed. It's also kind of an awkward angle for her elbow, so I might have to tweak this, because you can't really tell from the way that I've sketched in the hand. Well, actually, no, I guess you can. I don't know. I have to think about how I want to do that. I'm not going to be able to see a ton of detail here because she is going to be wearing her nightgown, which has big, fluffy, wonderful, beautiful sleeves. I mean, it's fitted through her forearm, but still. Let's see, what time is it? 12. Gosh, I do still need to go to the grocery store, so I'll probably do like 15, 20 more minutes, give or take. I would like to get to the grocery store before 2 if I can. I still need to shower and all that, so. It's gonna be a madhouse today. That's what I get for going on a Sunday. Where is her hair? Ah, I see. Okay. Oh, that makes it a lot easier. I should have done that sooner. Okay. I think that's probably her lines. Yes, it is. Okay. The church is restraining, repressing, and trying to later on use her for their benefit, all because they're terrified of the tiny halfling. What if they're right to be scared? The church is always interested in healing slash eradicating vampires. Everything they do, the church in Windermere specifically, everything they do is to that end. I mean, the church has a bunch of other stuff that they do, but like, still. I mean, you didn't technically get to meet Cyril the First, but you know, he had other reasons for deciding that Bronte should stay at the church other than just like the goodness of his heart. There was also the goodness of his heart. He did just think that it was morally the right thing to do, especially because of the way that they found out about Bronte. He did do it because he was a kind man, but also because this might benefit the church. Are shops in America open on Sundays too? It depends on the shop, but usually yes. Things like grocery stores will be open. There are some places that are not open on Sundays. Is this part of Cyril? Is that why I can't erase that? It shouldn't be part of Cyril. It should be part of her. Okay, it is. Let's see. I don't really think you're going to be able to see any of her features. I don't even think you'll really see her nose or her lips. I think you're really just going to see her eyelashes. But she does have like a nice, soft, round face, which is very cute, and I'm a big fan. Well, I think I don't think it really matters where her ear is, because I think it's going to be, yeah, her ear is going to be covered by her hair. So I don't really have to worry about her ear. Actually, I can probably just erase it. I don't need to worry about it. It's a bit easier. I've been working all day. School's capitalizing on me as well. Capitalism delectable. Yeah. But yeah, there are some businesses that are closed on Sundays. It just depends on the business and whether they choose to do that. In your country, everything closes down, or you have to pay double for their time. Oh wow, interesting. Yeah, no, there's no overtime or anything on Sundays. You just work. It depends on the business. Obviously, I do not work on Sundays. I work a office job, so it follows standard quote unquote business hours. So Monday through Friday. If I was to work on Sunday, that would be considered overtime, but I wouldn't be paid more for it because I'm a salary employee, so it wouldn't really matter. But people who work in like restaurants and like cafes and retail, they don't follow a standard business, like office business work schedule where it's Monday through Friday. They can work any day of the week. I would know because I used to do that when I was, I think, about 16. I worked at a grocery store, and I definitely had to work Sundays. you know, we're getting somewhere. Really need to worry about the back of her neck because that's going to be covered by her hair. So just get rid of that. I do want to... I'm going to completely redo her hair because I'm not really happy with the overall shape of that. Because I want her hair... First of all, it's not long enough, but second of all, it doesn't have enough weight to it. I'd like, for example, kind of have her hair... Obviously, it's gonna be kind of like draped in this way, and like Cyril's gonna be holding it over here, and it'll probably drape more, kind of like so. Because her hair is pretty long. It's about down to her hips ish, give or take. And then I would like to do some of it kind of the way that it is here, but it's not falling quite far enough. I'm drawing a straight line, but her hair is like a wavy texture to it. But I want it to be kind of like also laying on his chest. Just have like some of that. Something like that. To kind of show that she's moving that way, that she's moving towards him. So actually, I guess it would be better as if it was more like that. So you can kind of tell that she's... Oops. So you can kind of tell that she's moving forward a little bit more. You bring like a little bit more out, or something like that. Because I have to remember that her head is also turned that way, so her hair is also going that way. So I'll have to figure that out probably once I sketch in her nightgown again, because some of her hair will be getting caught on her nightgown. Ron seems to be extremely flexible. Her spine is arcing like a cat's. She's flexible. I'm sure Cyril will be a big fan of how creative that lets him be. By the way, I'm not sure if I'll be able to come to the stream in May. I have lots of guests that month, but I'll try my best to be here. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. But yes, definitely prioritize spending time with your guests. Here, you can have discount for fruits, meat, or soon to... Is that a word? Did I just learn a new word? Products in different grocery stores. If you, if you come late at night, there are a couple of cafes around here that if you order right before they close for the day, if they have food that they haven't sold that day, like sandwiches and things that are pre-made and ready, you can like check a little box where you pay like a flat rate for like $7, $8 or whatever, and they'll just like pack a box full of extra food that is going to be wasted if they don't get rid of it. So there's a couple of cafes around here that do that. Grocery stores, not so much, because here they're very concerned about getting sued and like legal shenanigans, because Americans are like that, unfortunately. So if something is even slightly close to going out of date, they're not gonna want to give it to you. But there are some apps and things like that that track food waste and will try to make sure that food that is perfectly good to eat doesn't go to waste. All right, let's see. There's her nightgown. It's 12:40. I should probably get going. He's not complaining. Let me turn out this way. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna have to call it for today, because I do have a bunch to do. I have to go to the grocery store. I have to do all my cleaning. I still have just a bunch of stuff that I have to do. So, thank you guys very much for hanging out. I hope you had fun. I'm hosting guests from Italy, America, and China. That's very exciting. I hope they have lots of good stories to tell. Travel always means good stories. Yes, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go elbow my way through the massive crowds at the grocery store so I can get some, I don't know, chicken and vegetables. Yes, thank you guys very much for coming. I hope you had a good time. It was wonderful to chat with you all, as always. Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. I stream every other Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you can make it, I'd love to have you. I will see you guys next time.